Duke had been put back into service on the Skarloey Railway, and he was enjoying his runs along the mountains. But as he traveled throughout the platforms and hills, there was one thing that always stuck out like a sore thumb, and that was a specific passenger among his trains. Her name was Patricia, but everyone called her Karen. She wore the worst clothing ever, and always complained. The other passengers hated her too. But one day, she would take it too far for Duke. As he pulled into the station on a brisk evening, he realized that Gordon was late. "Isn't Gordon usually here by now?" he said to Rusty. "Yeah, but there's been sleet on the rails this morning, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's the main issue." "Yes, but usually he can do sand and get over just well." "I bet it has something to do with that Patricia character," he said. Soon enough, Gordon pulled into the station and was very sympathetic. "I'm sorry, as I was going over the hill, I went slow so my wheels would grip on the sand, and a passenger thought we were going to roll down the hill, so pulled the emergency brake. I'm truly sorry again." "Was it the Patricia character?" "Yes, I'm afraid so." "Go figure," Duke said. The passengers got on with much disregard to Patricia still wouldn't get on the coaches. "They're the open coaches. Where are the red coaches that we ride on?" "We" is an understatement, said Duke. The passengers and the engines kept arguing with Patricia, but she wouldn't budge. "These aren't the red coaches," she screamed. "They're the same coaches." "Not the same coaches. They are green and open. The other ones are red and closed," she yelped, almost like a hyena, and the passengers were just yelling her to get in. Soon, she was eventually in, but it took a while. The two engines were finally able to get off. Gordon's journey would go smoothly. However, Duke's would not. Rusty had a bad feeling. On their way up the mountain, they passed Iva Hugh. During that, Patricia ignorantly needed to throw out some garbage of hers, and at the red coach flying by, no regard, she threw her garbage all over the coach. "Oh, ah!" the coach groaned. "She's glittering!" it groaned again. Duke saw this and could only scoff. Up ahead, there is a junction, a very tight and curvy one at that. And this junction has a steep incline at the front of it. The engines don't like this incline. It made the points not work as well as the others. Duncan was heading down with a slate train by then. But because of Patricia's gossip, Duke couldn't hear Duncan's whistle. "Look at you!" cried Duncan. Duke just barely stopped in front of Duncan's train as Duncan wheezed by with a grunt. Duke was mad, but Patricia was more. "My coffee!" she screamed. The other passengers told her to shut it. Soon, their train was back on the way, but a passenger had fallen out because of Patricia's arguing. She did it on purpose, but blamed her as the victim. The other passengers were not having it and helped the injured passenger onto the train again. Duke then rushed so the injured passenger could get to the station. Down and up hills they went. It was hard to remain their grip going downhill, so Duke went slow. The passenger was worried. Are we going to lose control? I can't go out like this. I'm too pretty." "Shut it!" cried Duke. "We're going fine," he said. And that she did, surprisingly to all the passengers. When going uphill, it was a little bit easier, but not that much. Soon they took the loop line and made it back to Croven's Gate. As Duke got there, Peter Sam rushed in with an ambulance car, and the injured passenger was helped into the passenger, and Peter Sam went off. Just when Duke thought it was the end of his story, Patricia hopped on his footplate, and Duke wheezed loudly and got her off. She seemed to mind, but Duke really did not. "Ah, you soaked me!" she screamed. "And that's what you get."